Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. And we're here with Dan Caballero. Did I say that right? Caballero?
Caballero.
I like that. Very good. CVA Exterminators Incorporated. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you just can't go and start spraying chemicals around a house. You have to be certified, licensed. Tell me more about your education.
Well, you have to be licensed. There's actually several licenses you can get in pest control. There's structural, which we have both for the termite side or the wood-destroying organism side, and we also have the residential general pest license. We also carry agricultural licenses, but we don't really use them out here too much. But you do have to be licensed, and it's just one of those things. You get in the business and you start getting one license after another until you can.
And you got to be educated because you are spraying things that could be harmful to pets and humans.
Right.
So let's talk about the two different kinds. We'll break it down to two. One is generally you get ants. That's where I see it. You know, ants are in my house. Oh boy, I hear it. I get a phone call. Fred, ants are in the house. What are we going to do about it?
Right.
And so that's typical. Tell me about that process, and then what is typical for most homeowners out in the Santa Clarita Valley?
You know, that's probably the biggest thing that we get calls about are ants. We have a lot of ants out here in Santa Clarita, and when it gets hot, they start moving into the house, and that's when people start having problems. And so, but we actually, a lot of people have some misconceptions about, oh, I got ants everywhere. They're going to have to come in and spray the whole house down. But that's not the case anymore. We have a lot of good technology now where we can go into a house, not even spray on the inside. We can put a little treatment around the outside, use baits on the inside, and you don't even really have to leave while we're doing it.
Well, that's good because a lot of times they've already gotten into your pantry,
Right.
and you don't really want to spray chemicals in your pantry.
Exactly.
When you come to visit a home, and your pets are normally outside, or dogs are a lot of times are outside. How long do you recommend you keep them inside before they go out and get exposed? Because it is a chemical that you're spraying.
Right. Well, we tell people that they should keep the pets indoors or away from the area that we treated while it's still wet. In the summertime, it dries really quick. I can start on one side of the house, go around the other side. By the time I come back, it's almost dry. So it's usually not that much time, but we just ask people, just until it dries, it stays put where it's at.
Have chemicals changed over the years? I know, is there such thing as a clean chemical? There's probably organic chemicals, but to tell me the difference between what they've become over the years, or is it really organic and non-organic? Tell me about the safety side of it.
Well, there's that word organic that a lot of people want to use, and it really applies towards how food is grown. That's going to be organic. But we do have a lot of new chemicals now that we didn't have before. They seem to be targeting insects, like ants specifically. They can target that specific critter, and we can go in there and treat something for a specific insect or specific pest problem. But there are botanicals as well that we use. In fact, a lot of them are derived from botanicals or synthetic botanicals. And so those are things that are used a lot. We also have chemicals that are very low dose. They're designed to affect just a little tiny insect, not mammals or large mammals like us or even our pets.
Yeah. And we're all concerned about that, the safety of our children. Let's go into termite, because a lot of us don't look at that until we sell our home or buy a home. Right. But what is a sign that you have termites and you should treat immediately so it doesn't become a big problem? From what I read, termites are the greatest destroying animals or insects in the country as far as real estate losses.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage, and most people, like you said, don't call us until they're going to sell their house. But right now, for instance, is a swarming season. This is subterranean termite swarming season. So if anybody has a large presence all of a sudden of little flying insects that look like ants with wings on them, they need to call us right away. A lot of times they'll swarm for a few days and then they stop and people think, oh, the problem's gone. Well, the colony that's doing the damage is still in the walls eating, and you were just seeing a manifestation of the colony inside the house. So if you have a swarm, you need to call somebody out to take a look at it right away.
Yeah, and get it squared away right away before it becomes a real big problem. You got to replace a lot of the wood in your house.
Right. There's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Why choose a local company? There are a lot of companies out there.
There's a lot of companies, and Santa Clarita is such a great community that what happens is a lot of companies look at it and they go, oh, let's open up a branch there.
Opportunity.
And the fact is that we're a local company. We've been here for 14 years, and we go to the supermarket with our customers. We eat out with our customers. We see them all over the place. And when you're dealing with a local company, you're keeping one, your dollar's local, which is good for our local economy, but you're also, I would say, better assured that you're going to have a better job done, because we don't want to run into somebody and that they're going to say, hey, you guys did a lousy job at my house.
Right.
We see them all the time, and they appreciate that we do a good job for them.
Yeah, credibility. And any misconceptions you want to share?
Well, I think we talked about one of them, which was, people think that you're going to call a professional exterminator to come and spray up the whole house, and that's not the case. We're getting so targeted with our treatments now that we can resolve a lot of problems without, having to just bomb the house. And then, and unfortunately, that's what homeowners do sometimes when they get exasperated, and sometimes they make the problem worse by doing that.
And I'll throw out one thing real quick before we finish up and you share your phone number. If you have a dog, put the dog inside the house for the day it's sprayed, because the dogs have a tendency to want to lay against the house.
Yeah.
And you just sprayed. And we had a dog at one point that passed earlier than we expected, and the only thing we could think of is just, he lays down right there with, he pets them. And so one of the things we really believe in is, if you do have some animals, they keep them in for the day, but we believe in it because, an ounce of prevention really helps out, and you can do lower dosages, which is really, I'm glad to hear that.
Right.
So thanks. How can those who want to reach out to you get you?
Well, they can call us at 661-253-3070. That's our local office number. We're right here in the Industrial Center. Or they can go on our website, www.cvaexterminators.com.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Brett.
it, Dan.
Have a good one.
Dan from CVA Exterminators Incorporated. You've been listening to and watching online this edition of the Santa Cruz Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.